Welcome to Skytech-Lens. Right? Let's talk about Amazon, the company that knows your midnight cravings and delivers before you can change your mind. In early 2025, Amazon did something bold. They started listing a new line on your receipt: US government tariff. Suddenly, tariffs weren't just political jargon. They were a number staring back at you, explaining why your air fryer cost more. This wasn't just accounting. It was Amazon publicly calling out government policy. The Tariff Transparency Initiative was a direct message: don't blame us for higher prices. Here's who's responsible. The White House was furious, calling it a political stunt. But for Amazon, it was self-defense. They faced billions in new costs and wanted customers to know why prices were rising. This simple line on a receipt forced every shopper to confront the real impact of tariffs. Before, tariffs were invisible. Now, they were a tax on your daily life. Amazon weaponized information, turning millions of shoppers into critics of government trade policy. It was a disruptive move that set the stage for a much larger economic reckoning. Suddenly, trade policy wasn't abstract. It was personal, and everyone was paying attention. The game had changed, and Amazon made sure you knew it. How did we get here? It started with the Trump administration's aggressive tariffs. The idea: make foreign goods expensive so companies would manufacture in America again. A blanket 10% tariff on nearly all imports, with some Chinese goods facing up to 145%. The administration promised it would protect American workers, claiming China would pay the price. In reality, importers like Amazon paid, and passed the cost to you. The hope was a manufacturing boom, but the global supply chain is too complex for blunt force. The result? A sledgehammer to the economy, with consequences about to hit home. Let's be clear, tariffs are taxes and you pay them. When a 25% tariff hits a smartphone, companies like Apple just raise the price. That $800 phone? Now it's over $900. The same goes for sofas, shoes, and school uniforms. Prices climb across the board. The Peterson Institute estimated tariffs cost US businesses $50 billion a year, all passed to consumers. It's not just big-ticket items. Small increases add up, straining family budgets. For many, it meant hundreds or thousands more spent each year just to keep up. The promise was a temporary sacrifice for a manufacturing revival. But instead of new factories, retailers scrambled to avoid tariffs, shifting sourcing to other low-cost countries. The policy didn't protect American jobs. It just made life more expensive and sent business elsewhere. Every shopping trip became a reminder: protectionism has a price, and you're paying it. The reality? Tariffs hit your wallet, not foreign governments. The pain was real, and it was everywhere. The cost of America first was being tallied at the checkout. Amazon didn't just complain, they acted. They launched a $13 billion overhaul of their global supply chain, tearing up old contracts and seeking new partners outside China. Manufacturing hubs in China felt the shock as Amazon shifted orders to Mexico, Vietnam, and India. Amazon rerouted cargo away from US West Coast ports, moving goods through Mexico and beyond. Billions went into new infrastructure: distribution hubs near the border, warehouses in Asia. Advanced analytics and AI helped Amazon predict tariff trends and optimize routes in real time. The result? A private, global trade network, less dependent on the US. This wasn't just a workaround, it was a new world order for commerce. Amazon's investment was a bet on a future where America was just another market. The supply chain had been rewired, and the ripple effects were just beginning. While Amazon adapted, American workers paid the price. As ships bypassed Los Angeles and Long Beach, port traffic plunged 22% in early 2025. Thousands of jobs vanished: dock workers, truck drivers, warehouse staff, all hit by the downturn. The manufacturing boom never came, leaving communities in economic limbo. In stores, consumers faced not just higher prices, but fewer choices as product lines disappeared. Affordable brands vanished, replaced by pricier, limited alternatives. Low-income families struggled most, forced to choose between essentials. Middle-class budgets shrank and job insecurity grew. The trade war wasn't just policy, it was a daily struggle for millions. As America walled itself off, the world adapted. Mexico, Vietnam, and India became the new centers of global trade. Mexico's logistics infrastructure boomed, fueled by billions in new investment. Vietnam's exports soared as companies fled China. India positioned itself as a tech and apparel hub. These nations weren't just filling a gap. They were building new trade routes that bypassed the US. America's retreat taught the world to diversify, and the global map was redrawn. Amazon's supply chain overhaul sent shockwaves through the industry. Other giants like eBay and Alibaba quickly followed, cutting reliance on US-centric supply chains. Contracts with Chinese suppliers were canceled, and investment flowed to Mexico and Vietnam. The old trade system unraveled, and American infrastructure lost its edge. As companies diversified, US ports and warehouses became less efficient and more costly. The administration's attempt to build a fortress backfired. America became a detour, not a destination. The world's commerce was moving on, leaving the US behind. On Main Street, the pain was real. Rising prices and job losses squeezed families and small businesses. Small shops couldn't absorb tariff costs or compete with giants, leading to closures and layoffs. Consumer spending, 70% of the US economy, slowed as people cut back. The ripple effect hit every sector, from car sales to restaurants. Economists warned of a looming recession, with GDP projected to shrink if policies continued. The trade war, meant to show strength, was pushing America toward the brink. The trade war's impact went global, redrawing alliances and shifting power. At home, public anger grew as prices rose and jobs vanished, fuel for political upheaval. America's retreat from global leadership left a vacuum quickly filled by China, Mexico, India, and others. New trade blocs formed, often excluding the US. The world learned to trade without America at the center. The policy meant to restore dominance instead triggered decline, at home and abroad. As October 2025 arrives, the question is clear. Can America still lead, or has it chosen irrelevance? Thanks for watching. Subscribe the channel for more updates.